Today we're going to take a look at the top 20 best-selling VHS tapes of all time. VHS sales really hit their stride in the mid-90s when VHS was most popular, so it makes sense that a lot of the titles in this list were from the 90s. However, there are some exceptions in there, mostly due to Disney re-releasing some old familiar classics. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into this. Coming in at number 20, we have Walt Disney's Pinocchio. A living puppet, with the help of a cricket as his conscience, must prove himself worthy to become a real boy. Pinocchio is one of the original Walt Disney classics, so it makes sense that this movie makes the list.
The one and only Pinocchio!
Coming in at number 19, we have Mrs. Doubtfire. After a bitter divorce, an actor disguises himself as a female housekeeper to spend time with his children held in custody by his former wife. This is one of Robin Williams' best performances, among many, and it's just a classic 90s comedy.
Euphigenia Doubtfire.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
Coming in at number 18, we have Walt Disney's Fantasia, a series of 8 famous pieces of classical music conducted by Leopold Stokowski and interpreted in animation by Walt Disney's team of artists. This is one of Walt Disney's many celebrated classics, and it would make sense that after many years of being out of print, having this film finally available, you could see why it skyrocketed with sales. At number 17, we have The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Simba's daughter is the key to a resolution of a bitter feud between Simba's pride and the outcast pride led by the mate of Scar. I wasn't really a fan of The Lion King 2, but with the success of the original Lion King, you can see how many people would want to buy this film, especially that there wasn't much of a theatrical release and it went straight to VHS.
The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. The circle of life continues in an all-new sequel.
At number 16, we have Aladdin, The Return of Jafar. Jafar comes for revenge on Aladdin, using a foolish thief and Iago's treachery to find a way back into power. Just like with The Lion King 2, Aladdin, The Return of Jafar went straight to VHS.
A new adventure with Aladdin. Disney's The Return of Jafar.
Coming in at number 15, we have E.T., The Extraterrestrial. A troubled child summons the courage to help a friendly alien escape from Earth and return to his home planet. This is one of Steven Spielberg's many classic films. It was huge in the 80s, and you could see how being released on VHS, many people would flock to buy it. At number 14, we have Shrek. A mean lord exiles fairy tale creatures to the swamp of a grumpy ogre who must go on a quest and rescue a princess for the lord in order to get his land back. There have been many subsequent Shrek films, 2, 3, 4. I think there's a Shrek 5 coming out soon. And this was massive at the time as well. So you can see why the sales for this film would have gone through the roof.
Shrek.
Coming in at number 13, we have Disney's 101 Dalmatians. When a litter of Dalmatian puppies are abducted by the minions of Cruella de Vil, the owners must find them before she uses them for a diabolical fashion statement. As I mentioned previously with the re-releases of Disney films, it is interesting to see which Disney films made the list and which didn't, seeing as there are quite a number of Disney animated classics that they released during the 90s. And obviously 101 Dalmatians is a surefire fan favourite.
This'll be fun! It'll be a sensation!
101 Dalmatians.
At number 12 we have Forrest Gump. The history of the United States from the 1950s to the 70s unfolds from the perspective of an Alabama man with an IQ of 75, who yearns to be reunited with his childhood sweetheart. This film won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and it was massive in the 90s. It's just an overall heartwarming film that deserves to be in the top 20 best-selling VHS tapes.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
At number 11 we have Toy Story 2. When Woody is stolen by a toy collector, Buzz and his friends set out on a rescue mission to save Woody before he becomes a museum toy property with his roundup gang Jessie, Prospector and Bullseye. Toy Story 2 really built on the world of the original Toy Story and in many ways was superior in terms of the CGI animation and the storytelling, so you can see why Toy Story 2 hits the top 20 list.
Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Toy Story 2.
Ride like the wind, Bullseye!
Coming in at number 10, we have Walt Disney's Cinderella. When Cinderella's cruel stepmother prevents her from attending the royal ball, she gets some unexpected help from her fairy godmother. Apparently this was one of Walt Disney's favourite animated features that he made, and you can see why it would be such a hit amongst young children, especially young girls, as it has many elements of a great fairy tale.
Walt Disney's classic, Cinderella.
At number 9 we have more Disney, Pocahontas. An English soldier and the daughter of an Indian chief share a romance when English colonists invade 17th century Virginia. Pocahontas is a soaring epic adventure that brings to life a legendary story of courage and friendship, and also features delightful humour and Oscar-winning music.
I'll always be with you, forever.
Disney's Pocahontas.
Coming in at number 8, we have Toy Story. A cowboy doll is profoundly jealous when a new spaceman action figure becomes the top toy in a boy's bedroom. When circumstances separate them from their owner, the duo have to put aside their differences to return to him. I remember seeing Toy Story at the cinemas back in the 90s, and it was massive. This was the first CGI animated feature film, and you can see why the sales of this film would have just gone through the roof when it came to VHS.
To infinity and beyond.
Toy Story.
Look out! Cat.
Coming in at number 7, we have another Disney classic, Beauty and the Beast. A prince cursed to spend his days as a hideous monster sets out to regain his humanity by earning a young woman's love. I believe this is one of Walt Disney's animated movie masterpieces. It's probably one of my favourite animated features. It's got everything you want. Great humour, it's got a great heart to it, great animation, and just a great score by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman.
I want adventure.
At number 6 we have Independence Day. The aliens are coming and their goal is to invade and destroy Earth. Fighting superior technology, mankind's best weaponry is the will to survive. This was a massive blockbuster in the 90s. The CGI in this film was mind-blowing at the time. Coming in at number 5 we have Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. An industrialist invites some experts to visit his theme park of cloned dinosaurs. After a power failure, the creatures run loose, putting everyone's lives, including his grandchildren's, in danger. All of these films, like I said, were massive in the 90s, and the CGI in this film was mind-blowing. I remember seeing it in the cinemas, and it just took my breath away, literally. It was really one of the first epic CGI blockbusters that were pushing the limits in terms of what you could do with CGI. It's super suspenseful, and it really is cinematic magic.
Jurassic Park.
At number 4 we have James Cameron's Titanic. A 17-year-old aristocrat falls in love with a kind but poor artist aboard the luxurious, ill-fated RMS Titanic. This film really was an epic spectacle back in the 90s on the big screen. I remember seeing it 4 times, and it really is a true cinematic masterpiece, worthy of its 11 Academy Awards.
Do not let go of my hand!
I'll never let go.
At number 3 we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Exiled into the dangerous forest by her wicked stepmother, a princess is rescued by 7 dwarf miners who make her part of their household. Just like I mentioned previously with the Disney animated classics being re-released on VHS in the 90s, this is a familiar fan favourite and one of the first Disney feature animated films.
Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
At number 2 we have Disney's Aladdin. A kind-hearted street urchin and a power-hungry grand advisor vie for a magic lamp that has the power to make their deepest wishes come true. Disney had their Renaissance period in the early 90s, and Aladdin was part of that magic. It's a magical carpet ride of non-stop enchantment and family adventure. It also has an Oscar-winning score once again by Alan Menken and Tim Rice.
Walt Disney Pictures' Aladdin. The movie USA Today gives 4 stars.
Never had a friend like me. Ha!
Made you look.
And coming in at the number 1 spot, we have Disney's The Lion King. Lion Prince Simba and his father are targeted by his bitter uncle who wants to ascend the throne himself. This really is Disney's crowning achievement when it comes to animation, and for me it was the peak of their Renaissance period. It was epic to see on the big screen. It's got a fantastic score by Tim Rice and Hans Zimmer, and a great soundtrack to go along with it by Elton John. The coming-of-age story of Simba is majestic and beautiful, and it's one of those films you can watch over and over again. So I can see why this VHS tape tops the list at number 1 in the top 20 best-selling VHS tapes of all time. Leave a comment. Let us know what your favourite film was on this top 20 list. As always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, the story's closed.